So Snapshot can move metadata from any org to any other org, but you can also move data, and it works in pretty much the same way. Just connect two snapshots with a deployment arrow. Right-click the arrow, and you can build a dataset which gets data off of the source org, and then migrate a dataset, which moves that data to the destination. Let's build a dataset. So first, you can select any one of your custom objects or regular objects. You can select them by name. You can select them with a filter, or you can just select all records. Next, you want to select child objects that are connected. So for example, let's get a contact, and let's also get an opportunity. Then you can select the fields that you want to load. We'll just go with the default values here. And lastly, you can build a dataset. So in order to build a dataset, you just click this button, and it's using the bulk data API to load the account objects, and then the contacts connected to that account, and then the opportunities as well. And there we have it. We just downloaded 4,000 accounts, 300 contacts, and 1,200 opportunities. Once you've created a dataset that you like, you can move it to any destination org. Just right-click the deployment arrow and choose Migrate Datasets. And now we can see, here's the dataset that I just created. I can look at all of the fields that I've loaded, either by field name or object name. Next, I can select matching fields. So for example, for account, I might want to match by name, but I might want to also match by postal code. That makes sure that companies that have duplicate names but are in different postal codes are matched correctly from the source to the destination. I can choose any fields that are scrambled. So for example, on the opportunity, I might want to scramble the amount. So I'm moving this data into a developer org or a testing facility, and I don't need real statistics in there for privacy. Lastly, I might choose to deactivate validation rules, flows, apex triggers, or workflow rules for the account and for the opportunity. This will make sure that in complex deployments, my data is not interfered with by a trigger or a validation rule. And lastly, I can get on the last tab here and migrate the dataset. So I can choose to stop after an error or continue. I can choose to don't truncate any fields if they're smaller on the destination, or allow field truncation. I can log all of my errors or the errors and the successes, and I can do this in parallel or in serial. So let's migrate the datasets. First, it does the accounts. Next, it does the contacts. And lastly, it does the opportunities. And so you can see from my results that there were a couple of records that did not go across because there was some type of error. All of that information will be in your migration errors log. And when it was finished, it updated 83 opportunities, 512 accounts, and however many contacts. And so it not only moved the data across to the destination, but all of these relationships were kept intact, and everything was reconnected to the best objects it could find on the destination. So it'll reconnect users and other objects that are interior references from these objects. Okay, that's a short movie on how Snapshot can help you move data as well as metadata.